All right, I think that's good. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm actually going to be talking about an interesting topic. So today's video is going to be a couple of reasons why I think the 8th gen SI is better than the 9th gen SI. I am not hating on the 9th gen. I just feel that I just want to give out my opinion on why I think the 8th gen is better than the 9th gen. So don't get me wrong, I love both cars, but because I own an 8th gen, why not have this kind of topic going on? And I'm going to be looking at my phone every once in a while because I wrote down notes, because as you guys know, I get distracted easily, especially when I'm driving. So trying to remember everything that I want to say about this, I need to make sure I say it. So the first reason why I think the 8th gen is better than the 9th gen, and this is actually a smart reason, and it's cheaper. Like, bottom line, the 8th gen is going to be cheaper than the 9th gen because it's an older model. It's the 8th generation for a reason. Now, that might not be a lot of people's problems, like, oh, money's not an issue, just to say, okay, but when it comes down to owning an SI, until you drive both, you'll be able to understand what I mean by which one you would prefer. And depending on what kind of mileage you get on the 8th gen, I don't see any worth more than like 12, maybe 13,000 at a dealership. It's going to be a lot cheaper if you buy it in cash on the street, but everybody knows that. But when it comes down to like dealer marketing, I think the highest you'll see is like 13,000 for a good condition one, you know. Maybe and then you got the Mugens, but I'm not gonna go too much into that. But the Mugens, it's always gonna have more value, is what I mean. The 9th gens, on the other hand, I think the cheapest one with a reasonable amount of mileage, you're probably looking at like $15,000, around right there, maybe a little bit more, because those are still new. I mean, yeah, we're already in the 10th gen market, but the 9th gen is still a relatively new car. To this day, people are still getting those cars. So money wise, I think the 8th gen is a lot cheaper, and it is a lot cheaper. So I mean, number one, it's just going to be the amount of money you'd be purchasing for one. Number two, I think and I feel that the 8th gen reacts better to aftermarket mods than the 9th gen does, just because the K20 platform is such. What was that? Did you guys hear that? My subwoofer just went off. It was just bassy right now. Wow, that was scary. I thought there was like a loud exhaust next to me. Why the fuck? Why did it do that? All right, whatever. The 8th gen platform does react to mods better than the 9th gen platform, just because our K20, to me, I feel like it's a stronger engine than the K24. It's just such a popular car. Like, whenever you a lot of cars out there that are project cars, that are drifting, that are at the drag strip, that want a challenging daily driver, a lot of those like 4-banger cars out there usually tend to K-swap, because you can get the easiest power band out of a K20, especially when it's under boost. I'm sure you can do the exact same with the K24, but I think the K20 reacts better to mods. My opinion, doesn't mean it's right or wrong, so you know. And then speaking of mods, number 3, VTEC hits harder on the 8th gen than it does in the 9th gen, because it's basically just like a punch in the face. When I first drove this car, I've never even driven an SI before, yet alone really Hondas. I mean, I did learn how to drive stick in an S2K, but I never really gunned it. The VTEC on the 8th gen SI does hit a lot harder than it does on the 9th gen SI, just because in the 9th gen, it's a more linear power curve, while in the 8th gen, I didn't even redline it. That was like half throttle, and that sounded amazing. even when you Flash Pro it, it's gonna hit even harder because you're gonna get it at an earlier RPM. Stock wise, VTEC is gonna be hitting at 6,000 RPM and the Redline's at 8,000. But when you Flash Pro it, off the shelf tune, it starts at 4750, 4950, around right there, and you still feel like you got punched in the face when you're driving it. I always pretty much want to smile almost every time I redline this car. And to be quite honest, it just sounds better. Like VTEC hitting in an 8th gen just sounds so much better. I've hit it in a 9th gen before, and I was expecting more than what I originally got. You know, I don't know if it's because I had higher standards because it was a 9th gen. A newer gen is typically supposed to be better than the previous generation. But when it comes to the Honda platform, I feel like I don't think anything is going to be able to beat an 8th gen, especially right now. When it comes, like an overall experience is what I mean, not just a daily driver and whatnot. Number 4, because you have a higher RPM Redline, I feel like it's just more fun to drive. I feel like the 8th gens are so much more fun to drive than they are the 9th gens. The Redline to this, again, it's at 8,000, but when you Flash Pro it, it tops off, I think mine tops off at 8,600. That's almost 9,000. That's up there. Yeah, you don't get majority of the power until you hit the top end, but that's what makes this car fun, because you're redlining it almost half the time, and that's what makes a Honda. You know, yeah, you hear a lot of those cars out there that have that like trash can fart muffler, whatever you want to call it, and then you see the ones that are really dedicated true Honda enthusiasts that just want that will make the car sound good and feel good. Because you could only make a Honda sound so good, you know. You're not gonna make it's not a BMW or a V8. You're only gonna make it sound, relax. You could only make a Honda sound so good. But where I'm getting at, it's just more fun to drive. I feel like it has a better chassis, so when you're taking turns, it just feels amazing. And now that I have upgraded aftermarket sway bars front and rear, it just woke up the car even more. I haven't really driven a 9th gen in the canyons, but I read the forums, I've talked to a couple buddies, and a lot of them said that the 8th gen just performs better than the 9th gen. Especially when it comes to, I guess you can say canyon runs, track-wise. A little bit of VTEC there. Just sounds great, and I only have a short ram intake in the engine bay, is what I mean. The handling in here is just amazing. It's phenomenal. Like, I've driven it in the canyons and I loved it. I put on Eibach springs and I put on Eibach sway bars and I love it even more. This car is just such a fun drive every single time you get in the car. Yes, it has its flaws, and yes, there are going to be better cars than this, but right now I'm just comparing it to the 9th gen. The 5th reason why I think the 8th gen is better than the 9th gen, and I don't know if this is gonna make sense to you guys, but to me, I like a simple interior. I like knowing where everything is. And when I got in a 9th gen, I like the interior, but I feel like it wasn't for me. To me, the 8th gen interior, the cockpit, the driver point of view, whatever you want to call it, I feel like it's more driver oriented because it's plain. You don't have too many distractions as you're driving. In the 9th gen, you have a screen there, you have a screen there, you have something there. Here, it's just tachometer, speedometer. That's it. Yeah, they're separated, but it's still, to me, it's more driver oriented. It's more simple. It's not as complex as the 9th gen, and I feel that that's what matters when you're trying when you don't want to get distracted, especially when you're just driving this car on the track, in the canyons, at the drag strip, wherever you want to say. The sixth reason and the final reason that I think the 8th gen is better than the 9th gen is, and I don't know if this is going to sound silly, but it just sounds better saying this. So in an 8th gen, let's say you want to go all motor. Best thing to do is upgrade the motor, obviously, or you want to go with when you want to get bigger boost with a supercharger or a turbocharger, or if you just want to build a motor and go NA, you can easily Frankenstein this engine with a K24, and you'll put out so much more power than you normally would in a K20 or in a K24. When you Frankenstein both these two motors together, the K20 and the K24, they perform phenomenal. Like, they are such an amazing NA motor for a Honda. And it sounds better that you threw a K24 in your 8th gen because it's an older model, newer engine, than in a 9th gen you threw in a K20 in it because it's an older engine. I don't know. Like, to me, I just feel like it sounds cooler saying you K24 swapped the 8th gen than you K20 swapped the 9th gen. You know what I mean? Like, that might not be a big deal, because it's really not, but to me, it just sounds cooler. And to me, I think it'll outperform that 9th gen. I could be wrong. I haven't seen one in person yet, but I personally feel like it would outperform the 9th gen, depending on all the mods, of course. I think that was it. But yeah, guys, those are 6 reasons why I think the 8th gen platform is a lot better than the 9th gen platform. Again, I am not hating on the car. I think both cars are wonderful, and bottom line, you're still gonna go get what you're gonna get. You got to drive both cars to see what you feel, what you like better, pretty much, because you are making a commitment if you are buying a car, believe it or not. Whether you pay it up cash or you're making payments, you're gonna make a commitment, and you got to stand by it until you decide, hey, I don't want this car anymore, I'm gonna get rid of it. Oh yeah, and a random reason why I think the 8th gen is better than the 9th gen, we got a fucking Mugen. Hey, FRS though, we got a Mugen. Sadly, it only comes in a 4-door, but I would love to see a 2-door Mugen someday. Well, we got a Mugen, 9th gen don't. At least not that I don't think of. To put in perspective, I feel like I would daily a 9th gen, but when it comes to building a track car, project car, I'd probably go with an 8th gen. That's just me. And then I know a lot of people are gonna go, well, what do you think about the 10th gen compared to the 8th gen? 2 completely different cars. For example, the 10th gen is turboed and the 8th gen is NA. I'm not really gonna compare both, because those are 2 completely different cars. The 8th and 9th gen are a lot more closer to each other, especially because they're the same case series, than the 10th gen is with the 8th gen. But that's a completely different topic, completely different video, if I ever decide to do one. But just wanted to throw this video out there. Let me know what you guys think. I'm sure there's plenty of more reasons why the 8th gen is better than 9th gen, or maybe you guys are gonna argue with it about it and say, no, 9th gen is a lot better than the 9th gen is a lot better than the 8th gen. It's cool. That's what we're here for. We're here to hear out everybody in the YouTube community and in the Honda Civic community. So, I mean, hear that VTEC? Smooth it out like chapstick. But yeah, guys, if you guys haven't already, please subscribe. It really does help me out. If you guys haven't, please like the video. Let me know what you guys think. I'm sure we can have pretty cool conversations in the comment section. I'm not trying to fire anybody up, but again, these are just my thoughts on why I think the 8th gen is better than the 9th gen. But think about it, guys, it's just my opinion. It's just something I wanted to throw out there, because I have a feeling this is a really interesting topic, especially when we're competing with each other, because I still feel like the 8th gen and the 9th gen are, to this day, they're going to be competing with each other no matter what it is. But at the end of the day, we all drive the same type of car, and we just want to have fun and get to know each other, and possibly even learn whenever we meet somebody new. Random though, I am Danimal. I'm hoping I pronounced your YouTube right. Big dog, I know you watch these videos, and I know you drive a 9th gen. Let me know why the 9th gen SI is better than the 8th gen SI. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video right here. So you guys have a good day. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay classy. Peace.